The case is one that has been investigated over a period of some 45 years.
You heard right. Tonight we are learning much more about a man who was shot and killed back in 1973. John Constant's family just got justice 4 decades in the making.
Max Calhoun is now charged for first-degree murder in his death. A grand jury indicted him last week. He's accused of shooting and killing Constant back in March of 1973. Now, family of the suspect says this new information comes as a shock.
Reporter Gabrielle Hayes spoke with them tonight and has an update on the case. Gabrielle.
John and Beth, Max Calhoun is now in the Monroe County Jail. The DA says he was arrested after someone came forward with a tip back in December. Now his office is handling that investigation.
District Attorney General Stephen Crump says in March of 1973, John Constant lost his life and the case went cold until now.
I don't ever want a family to feel like we've forgotten that something bad happened to them.
Crump says after over 4 decades, new information came to light in December.
One witness came forward because they are suffering what they believe to be a terminal illness.
After investigating further, the DA's office presented a case on Max Calhoun to a grand jury.
Following that, the grand jury returned what we call a true bill or an indictment in that case.
Calhoun is now in the Monroe County Jail, and the DA's office is continuing the investigation.
Well, we'll be reevaluating this case to determine what is still out there that could be tested. Can we apply new techniques to the evidence?
But the whole arrest is something Calhoun's stepson says caught him off guard.
Yeah, I left work. I was just flying over there, of course. It just shocked me.
Terry Brackett says his family is working with lawyers and trying to get Calhoun out on bond.
I don't understand this on something that old with what they have. I mean, we're just waiting for some information.
The DA says while the case is getting a lot of attention, his office is focused on getting some closure for everyone involved.
I don't know if it's the most celebrated in Monroe County or the most infamous, but it certainly is to the Constant family, and that's the way we're going to approach it.
Now, I also reached out to the Constant family. They did not want to go on camera, but Max Calhoun's arraignment is set for February 25th.
Gabrielle Hayes on the story. Thank you.